Stephen, give me some juice.
Sure. You should have sound now. You should. That one should be on now. So that one's not on, but the one in front should be on.
Yeah, I know that. I'm checking all three.
Yeah. Yeah. This wasn't on. This wasn't on.
Morning, welcome everybody. We have several announcements to share with you. First of all, we're happy to announce that the twins have arrived. They came Wednesday morning this past week. 6 pounds, 9 ounces for Charlotte, named for Charlotte Glasgow, and Sienna. Sienna's middle name is Isaiah's middle name, which I think is a family name, Cheyenne. Sienna, Cheyenne, and Charlotte, and everybody doing fine. I was telling Sherry just 1 hour of labor, hard labor actually.
For twins?
She went in the hospital the day before, but really nothing happened until that morning, and then it was a pretty simple labor. So long pregnancy, went longer than anybody expected, but everybody's doing fine, and it worked out terrific. Mark got to be there not only for the birthdays of Jeannie and Mia, but now for their arrival of the twins. So, and he flies back into Pittsburgh tonight. We'll pick him up. And also in our prayers, Sandy Brown's mother, Diane Court, will be having knee replacement surgery at Trumbull Hospital this Wednesday. And she, same surgeon that has done Keith and has rebuilt Chopix and Woods. And I don't know what the plan is for rehab, or if she'll go back to Ashtabula and get something done up there. And I don't know how long. How long do they keep you after knee replacement?
3 days.
3 days. So Steve Corp is coming from Indiana to be with Drive Dave. We offered Dave to spend the night with us, but Steve is going to take him back home that night, and then he's going to head home the next day back to Indiana. So keep Dave in your prayers, and Diane. And also, please remember Brother Stewart, Burnett Stewart, as he continues to undergo chemo. And Betty Paskew and Nellie Trent, both of them, and Ray Lee, Keith's father-in-law, Linda's dad, had to go back into the hospital for a little bit. He's now back home. And Keith himself is awaiting results from a possible torn ligament in your shoulder. We had a terrible news, it's a very sad thing. I have a bunch of relatives in Pensacola still, and my Aunt Berta, my Uncle Buddy, died a few years ago. Many of you remember I flew down to do his funeral, and I don't know, I was trying to calculate in the shower this morning. Aunt Berta has to be getting close to 90, but Aunt Barb said the other day she thinks Berta's going to live to be 100, like Pawpaw did. But there's no blood relative there. But anyway, I mean, Aunt Berta is not from Pawpaw's genes. It was her husband that was from Pawpaw. But anyway, Aunt Berta and 3 of her daughters decided to go to Colorado, which they have done over the years a few times. And so the youngest, the youngest of the daughter, her husband Tom, has had some troubles over the years. He's about 67 or 80 now, or was. Anyway, kind of slow, and he said, I'll just stay home, and they They said, no, you're going to go with us. Anyway, they booked like a private home like you can do, like we do when we go to the mountains in Colorado. And took 4 days. They're all a little bit gypsy. They have a junk shop down in Vernon, what he did for years, and she's still buying. And the girls are just maddened by it. You know, they've got a store next door that people can't even walk through because it's so full. But anyway, they went to Colorado, and while they were there, Tom had a heart attack in the house where they were staying. And they all tried to revive him and call 911. So, Aunt Verna and the 3 girls in Colorado, Tom passes away, and the coroner has to get all of his medical records before he can declare, what happened. And so they're on their way back to Florida, and I'm not sure of the funeral details. They'll fly Tom's body back, but it's sad. Tom was a real innocent. Would you bow in prayer with me? Father, we pray this morning for the Hammond family. Please be with Donna and Aunt Verna and all of the family as they grieve in Tom's passing. And Father, we also pray for Brother Stewart. We pray for Burdette, that you would help him to get better and have a full recovery, Father, if it's your will. And continue to strengthen Charlene and the kids as they help him through this difficult time. And Father, we pray for so many of our number. We thank you for the arrival of the new twins. We pray for all of those, Diane Court, that she has this surgery in her older years, that you would help her to have a good recovery. Thank you, Lord, for all of your blessings. Thank you for the word that we're able to study today and encourage each other. Through Christ we pray. Open your Bibles to Exodus chapter 24. I had on my docket to try to cover 2 chapters today, and I just decided actually chapter 25 will go better with a couple chapter, and then we might do a little bit of speed reading there. But today we'll just take our time. We've got 20 minutes. It's not a long chapter, but it's a rich chapter. So basically, I've divided my notes into 3 ascents. Moses goes up to the mountain on 3 different occasions, and each time there's a little bit, different accompaniment and those who went with him. And so let's read together, follow along as I read here. God said to Moses, "Come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and you shall worship at a distance." Let's stop there for just a minute and rehearse. When God first made an appearance at Mount Sinai, which is called the Mountain of the Lord, and that doesn't mean this is not a parallel with Olympus. We know better than to think that God lives on the top of the mountain. But this was one of the occasions where God made his presence known to the children of Israel. What's the term for that? Well, let's hold that for just a minute. We'll come to that. So God communicates somehow to Moses, "Come up on the mountain, and I want you to bring some others with you." So let's dissect this a little bit. Who is Aaron? Moses' brother. And who are Nadab and Abihu? Do you expect anybody to hear that? Gail, trust me, we go to a restaurant after church a lot of times on a Sunday, and I see her lips move, but I don't know what she's saying. I'm getting, every time a hearing aid commercial comes on, Jeannie post meal. But do you agree that that was pretty soft? Is everybody in here?
We agree.
Yeah, she's used to talking out loud. Yeah, that's what it is. She's a liar. Nobody talks loud out loud. Okay, I think sometimes she torments me. It's like, let's see if I can really see if he gets it. What did you say?
They were Aaron's oldest two sons.
Nadab and Abihu. So these three, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, are part of the priesthood. All right, so Moses, the priesthood, and 70 elders. They go up to the mountain. They get a special invite. What does it say here? Moses alone, however, shall come near to the Lord, but they shall not come near, nor shall the people come up with him. So, what's going on here? What I started to say, let's rehearse and remember that when God first made his presence known at Mount Sinai, he gave very deliberate instructions saying you cordon off the base of the mountain and you set patrols along there and markers, and anybody comes too close to the base of the mountain, they'll die. The holiness of God is descending on the mount. The mount represents the presence of God, and you just can't be trifled with God. So the people stood at a distance at the base, but on this occasion, Moses tells Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and the elders, God has given you a ringside seat. Now, I'm saying those words, that's not what Moses said. But they get to go. How far up? I don't know. But they're closer than everybody else. Does this, and this gets to the word that I asked you for a minute ago, does this get them to really see God better than everybody else down at the foot of the mountain? Because the people at the foot of the mountain, they knew something was going on that mountain, and they interpreted it to be the presence of the Almighty has come down to the mountain. So, can people see God? Let's go ahead and jump into this. Gail said, no, you can't see God. Well, let's explore that just a little bit. Let's jump ahead to, first of all, let's look at this passage here in verse 10. Moses went up with Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders, and they saw the God of Israel. That's what it says. But we have to ask, what does it mean that they saw God? So let's go ahead and explore this. Look down under the category of a second ascent, and you see the second discussion question. How does one explain these two seemingly conflicting ideas? So on the one side, over here, let's be on Gail's side over here. I want different ones to find those passages. Okay, we'll start up here. Don, would you get Genesis 32? And then somebody on the next row, Exodus 14. And we'll let you take Exodus 33 also. Nick, somebody on your row, Judges 13. And somebody back by Chris, Isaiah and Daniel. And then we'll come over by Fred and Julia for John 14 and Matthew 1. And then let's start over here. Brian and Sherry or Stephen, Exodus 30 through 20. Keith, Deuteronomy 4. Trudy or Shan, John 1, 18. And while you're there, read those other John passages. On the builder's row, let's do the 1 Timothy 1 and 6 while we're there. Okay, this causes trouble sometimes because we hear this is what falls under a category of sympathetic to Scripture and faith, they will read these, and they are quite adamant that the Bible contradicts itself. How can you believe it? One passage says they saw God, another passage says, no, nobody can see God. So the Bible's just full of double talk here. Well, let's think about that as we read these. Okay, Gail, would you read Genesis 32:30 in as loud a voice as you have? Did she say something?
The next day Moses said to the people, "You have committed a great sin, but now I will go up to the Lord. Perhaps I can make atonement for your sin."
Is that the right verse? Genesis 32:30. Okay, so I got something wrong there. Maybe it's 32. 34.
33:20.
33:20.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want Genesis or Exodus?
What do I have? I think I want Exodus. No, I want Genesis in this.
Maybe Genesis 32.
What'd you say, Trudy?
33:20.
Yeah, 33:20. It's Exodus 33:20. Well, I really messed up on that. There should not even be a semicolon either.
That's what you got on the right side.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
that
that's on
on
the
the right side.
Yeah, that's one you gave to me. I think you also have Genesis 32:30.
Oh, I'm reading from 30. Well, I'm totally discombobulated here. So what you read from Genesis scale was not it? 32, 30. Yeah, that's it. You were reading from Exodus.
Oh.
Yeah. Genesis 32:30. You spent 5 minutes because you misled me. Genesis 32:30 says, I'll read it in a loud voice. Jacob asked him and said, "Please tell me your name." But he said, "Why is it that you ask my name?" And he blessed him there. So Jacob named the place Peniel, for he said, "I have seen God face to face, and yet my life has been preserved." Right, you have to see the context there. Who is Jacob talking to here? An angel of the Lord. Okay? You say, well, that's a minor distinction. It is a distinction. He wrestles with the angel of the Lord. It's of the Lord. It's sent by the Lord. It's representative of the Lord. And in this case, Jacob says, "I've seen the Lord face to face," in the form of an angel. Okay, Exodus 24, 9 and 10, and 33, 11. Well, let's flip flop. Let's go back and forth. All right, Stephen, would you read now?
Exodus 33:20.
Yeah.
But he said, "You cannot see my face, for no man shall see me and live."
All right, so Genesis there says, Jacob said, "I saw the face of the Lord. I saw the Lord face to face and have been preserved." This one says, no, if you see my face, you die. All right, back over to Don. Are you ready in Exodus 24, 9 and 10?
You actually gave him the one.
Yeah, I have that.
Okay, good. I'm sorry. So that was part of my comment.
Then Moses went up, also Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel. And they saw the God of Israel, and there was under his feet, as it were, a paved work of sapphire stone, and it was like the very heavens in its clarity.
Okay, that's our text here, and then skip over, Roseanne, real quick to 33:11.
So the Lord spoke to Moses face to face, as a man speaks to his friend, and he would return to the camp, but his servant Joshua the son of Nun, a young man, did not depart from the tabernacle.
All right, now that one there puts a little different twist on it. I just got through saying, well, Jacob, he says he saw God face to face, but it was an angel. But this one says Moses talked to God face to face, as you do. All right, let's go over here. Who's got the next one over here? Keith? Deuteronomy 4:15. give that to Alfred. When I give these assignments ahead, I expect you to be ready to go.
More 15. Be careful, each to yourself. For you saw no form when the Lord spoke to you at Meribah out of the midst of the fire.
All right, you didn't see God. Don't say you saw God. You didn't see that. All right, back over here, Judges 13:22. Who has that? Nick, read that, please.
And Noah said to his wife, we shall surely die because we have seen God.
Okay, and we're back over here to builders. We got 3 verses there from John. Somebody? Pardon? Oh, Trudy, I'm sorry.
John 1:18. Now you maybe you say,
John 1:18.
yeah, no man has seen God at any time. The only begotten God who is in the bosom of the Father. He has explained it.
Okay, and skip ahead to those other ones real quick. They're close by. 5:37 and 6:46.
John?
Yeah.
But if you do not believe his writings, you will not believe my words.
John 5:37.
Oh, 30. John 5:37. This is 5:37. 40. Oh, I'm sorry. You're rubbing off on me, Gary. And while he said, he has borne witness of me. You have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his form.
Okay, and one more, Trudy, if you can, I'm saying too much. John 6:46. I'm sorry, this is rather confusing.
Not that any man has seen the Father except the one who is from God. He
Oh.
has seen the Father.
Okay, so we're getting a picture here. Let's do just a couple more and be done with it. Who's, Chris, please, those 2 from Isaiah and Daniel.
In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting on the throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple.
Okay, and the Daniel one's kind of similar, so we'll let that one slide in the interest of time. And then let's come over here to the Billers, and they're going to read from the Timothy text, 2 of them.
Now the King, eternal, immortal, invisible, to God, whom also is wise, the honor and glory forever and ever. Amen.
Right to the King, I think he heard it. I heard him say that God was invisible. Paul said that. Ray, Bob didn't make that up. All right, Ray, 1 Timothy 6:16, or Maggie?
Who alone is immortal and who lives in unapproachable light, whom no one has seen or can see.
Okay, and then back to some words from the Gospels. John 14, Brad or Julia, and Matthew 1:23.
Jesus answered, don't you know me, Philip? Even after I have been among you such a long time, anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, show us the Father?
All right, and one more from Matthew, Julia. No? Matthew 1:23.
The virgin will be with child and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us.
Okay, so we're getting a picture here, and we see the dilemma, if there is one. On the one hand, some scriptures say, you can't see God. He's invisible. He's unapproachable. He's spirit. And there's another passage that would say that. But on the other hand, we're reading accounts where people claim to have seen God in some form or fashion. All right, let's go back to our Exodus passage and continue just a little bit. What the answer to this dilemma is pretty simple, and it's that these appearances of God are what we refer to as theophanies. A theophany. That's a combination of two words, the word theo for theology, the study of God, and the other word is comes from a Greek word, epiphany, which means an appearing. So a theophany is an appearing of God. Or God, if you read this definition in your dictionary, it would say a manifestation of a divine being to human beings. So it can take place in many different ways. It can just be God descending. Again, he's a spirit. He's not like you and I in flesh and blood. But somehow his presence comes down to the mountain, and the mountain glows. Thunder and lightning, clouds, all kind of cosmic signs that something is happening on that mountain. And that's a theophany. That's God making his presence known. Or it might come in the form of an angel appearing to someone, or it might be in the case like this, where God invites them up on the mountain. And let's read a little bit more. Back to our text. So Moses alone was to see God, and in verse 3, Moses comes down. He tells the people the words of the Lord and all the rules and regulations, ordinances, and the people said everything the Lord says we're going to do. And Moses, remember God's words in Ecclesiastes, if you vow, you better be sure to pay it. God doesn't take lightly to people making vows and then not following through. So here the people essentially vow, everything you've told Moses for us to do, we're going to do it. Moses writes down all the words of the Lord. Then he arose early in the morning. He built an altar. Evidently God directed him to do this at the foot of the mountain with 12 pillars, obelisk of some kind, not carved by a cutting tool, because that was not permissible, as we read earlier. And he sent young men of the sons of Israel, and they offered up burnt offerings and sacrificed young bulls as peace offerings to the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and he poured it on the altar, and the other half he sprinkled on the people. Now, when we say he sprinkled on the people, obviously it was something symbolic, because this is a God of people here gathered, and there's no way that amount of blood could be sprinkled on. So I don't know how it happened, but it's symbolic of what's taking place. And then they said again in verse 7, he took the book of the covenant and he read it in the hearing of the people, and they said, all that the Lord has spoken we will do, and we will be obedient. So Moses took the blood, sprinkled it on the people, and he said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you in accordance to these words. Then Moses went up with Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and the elders, and they saw the God of Israel. And under his feet there appeared a pavement, a sapphire. This kind of reminds you of language in the book of Revelation, as clear as the sky itself. But what do you say to verse 11? Now earlier, God says, bring Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu and the 70 elders, but you alone are to come up closer to me. They can come up the mountain a ways, but they can't come all the way. But now, it appears like they go up with Moses. And what does verse 11 say? Yet God did not stretch out his hand against the nobles and the sons of Israel, and they beheld God, and they ate and drank. I don't know what to do with this verse. Unless it's an expression of God's grace. It almost, when you read it, it sounds like the first time God was very explicit, bring them up, let them come a ways, but only you come the other, and now Moses brings them all the way up. And yet God didn't stretch out his hand. And in fact, they ended up having fellowship with God. Anybody have any comments on that, or you have any study Bible helpful notes there? All right, the second ascent. The Lord said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain and remain there, and I will give you the stone tablets with the law and the commandment which I have written for their instruction." Stephen, how long does Moses go? How long does he stay on the mountain? This is the 40 days. Stay. So, I mean, he receives it on the seventh day. But so Moses arose, and this time who does he take? Verse 13. Joshua. I don't know what's behind all of this. I don't know if this is faith building. I mean, how could it not be? If you're Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, one of the 70 elders, and you were able to go up on the mountain and see at an even closer level that something dynamic was happening there, and now Joshua goes, and they went up to the mountain of God. But again, to the elders, he tells them to wait for us to return to you. And he tells them furthermore that Aaron and Hur are with you. So he tells the people, if you have a legal matter that comes to be disputed, let them take care of it. Who is Hur? He's a him. Hur is a him. Anybody know who Hur is? The only other time we encounter him, helped to hold up the hands of Moses during an early battle as they began to go away from Egyptian bondage. Tradition says that Hur is the husband to Miriam. And who is Miriam? The sister to Moses. Now, have we got a little nepotism going on here? It appears to. God evidently saw in this family ones who could be trusted. All right, we're almost done here with this section. So, verse 15, Moses went up to the mountain, and the cloud covered the mountain. What is the cloud sometimes called? Shekinah. Again, if you look that word up in your dictionary, it was the mountain or the cloud of the Lord. So verse 16, the glory of the Lord rested on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days, and on the seventh day he called to Moses from the midst of the cloud. Now, if you're Moses and you go down, do you tell him, God spoke to me? Sure you do. Did God speak to him in flesh and blood like Aaron would speak to him? Perhaps not. In this case. Verse 17. And to the eyes of the son of Israel, the appearance of the glory of the Lord was like a consuming fire on the mountaintop. The sons of Israel were watching, and they saw fire on the mountaintop. And that was the appearance of the Lord to them. That's the way they understood it. Moses entered the mountain on the cloud as he went up the mountain, and Moses was on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. Anybody comments or questions here? A lot of really amazing stuff in this text. Gail?
Seems like the group that went up in the first one, the elders, that when the plagues of God and increasing, were stricken their faith the way they prevented the construction of the calf.
Yeah, you'd think so. She says the fact that the elders went up and saw these things had this closer encounter with God would have helped them to stave off the cry of the children of Israel to build a golden calf. This is one of the great quandaries of when you read the Old Testament. It's really not that big of a quandary because we see ourselves in it. You know, you and I have been privileged, we have all known people that had such close relationships with God, and then something, sometimes it's, I don't want to give this kind of thing too much publicity, but over the years it's been tragic to see the number of preachers who have been involved in sexual behavior that they should not have done so. I'm talking affairs with women of the church, or we have privileges. We know the Word of God. We know how good God has been to us, but there's a human nature side to us that makes temptations troublesome all the time. So Gail, you're right. You would think the 70 elders, maybe it did impact the 70 elders, and maybe they gave all kind of counsel and wisdom to the crowd, and maybe they were working with the crowd trying to say, "Would you guys stop this?" And the crowd wouldn't listen. We'll get to that later. She's jumping ahead of the story. Anybody else last words? Okay, thank you. You see your assignment for next week, and this gets a little detailed, and as I said, we're not going to camp out on any of this, but we're going to give a little survey of the sanctuary and how God was pretty persnickety about the way he wanted it furnished. And not only that, but how he wanted the people that worked in it to carry on with their business. So, okay, thank you.
Jerry,
Yes, ma'am.
Josh Esposito was crowned king of homecoming.